What is going on, everyone? James with Urban Bass Layers. I am out here in the bait room and I'm working on some baits today. I got a couple things going. I have this guy now painted up. I took this guy out for a little swim test in one of the last videos. Swims really good, so I threw a trout paint job on this with some crazy looking trout colors instead of the normal what everybody does. That one came out pretty cool, and I matched that paint job on this guy, which is like a topwater glide type walking bait that I did up real quick. Had some extra wood laying around and I just drew up a quick little design and I cut that guy out. I'm going to take it out and swim it. It has not been swam yet. This little guy here, little bluegill, it's basically the same shape as the first bait there, but it's a little shorter, so it's almost the same shape, a little bit shorter. I'm hoping this guy swims good. Painted it up with some pearlized purples and some silvers and pearlized white, some folk art blue color shift, a little bit of green and some sepia, some of that Japanese orange, the Tamiya color stuff really pops. And then I made this guy. It's the same shape as this guy, but I did a little bit more detail on it to make it look more like a trout. As you can see, I did the gills different and I did the sides different. I eliminated the little fins, and this guy is actually for Devin. He doesn't know it yet, but I made this for him. And this one's just about finished. I need to finish hooking it together. It's still not epoxied together. What I've been doing is painting these pieces by themselves. That way it doesn't stick together when you epoxy it. It's something that I learned from Marling Baits. But this guy's pretty cool. It's got the same exact body shape as that, so it should swim good. And we're going to be going out and testing these pretty soon here. And they're pretty quick and easy to make. As you can see, I got 4 more of them going right here. I got these to this point today. Only took me a little bit of time. Cut them out with the bandsaw. I marked everything out and I drilled the holes and I poured the lead. Now I got to come back, smooth down the lead. I always pour it a little bit higher, that way it's not indented. And when I come back and I shave it off, I don't have to add anything over the top of it. If I shave it really nice and clean, and I can use some sandpaper and a file, and I can get them really nice and clean without having to fill those holes back in. And then on to the next bait, which is this guy. It's a little bit different shape. And what I did with this one was I actually went online onto Google and I took a picture of a trout that I just found on there, which is this guy, and I just traced the trout and tried to make a bait out of it, basically. So I don't know how this guy's going to swim. It's a little bit of a different body shape, so we're going to take this guy out and test it. If this is a good shape and this guy works, then I'm going to make a whole bunch of these ones. It's got a lot of cool detail on it. I'm getting a little better at hand carving these things, and I'm getting a little bit better at painting them. We are also in the process of setting up an online shop to sell all of this stuff. It's just going to take me a second to get it going and get my PayPal hooked up to it. Then onto this guy, the sonar, as we say, the finder. I was going to call this the finder, but there's already a bait called the finder, so I just jokingly threw the name sonar on the side of it just because it's a gigantic bait. And what this guy is going to be for is locating fish. This bait will be for tossing out there and retrieving it and trying to get the big gigantic fish to come up out of the woodworks and see if they will eat this thing. Sometimes they'll come out to look at it, they won't eat this, and you turn around and you throw a smaller bait in there and they will eat that bait. But this is basically like a search tool. And what I did with this guy that's different, everybody's doing it, all the cool kids are doing it, is I threw some swivels on the bottoms, like on the jackal gantrels and some of the other baits out there. And those swivels will hold the hooks, and when the big fish bites, the hook will swivel around. Those are some pretty strong swivels that we bought for the spinner baits back in the day. But they're good enough for these, so I got a whole bunch of extra of those from the spinner baits that we were making. Pretty easy to put them in. You just put a little pin through the side there and it holds it in, and unless the wood rips out, that thing's not coming out. And I always use owner split rings and the strongest hooks I can get, usually like Gamakatsus or VMCs or something really, really strong, the thicker gauge wire. So anyways, these are a bunch of baits that I got going. I got some other stuff going still, some more of the big ideas, and I have another one over here that I redid the line tie on. I put the line tie down lower, and I went out and I retested this guy. It swims a little bit better now that I changed the line tie on these. Now unfortunately I started building some other ones before testing, and that's trial and error. Don't get yourself ahead of yourself. Don't put the cart before the horse. I started building more of these ones before I knew if that line tie was in the right place, because I changed the eye placement and a whole bunch of other stuff. So now these guys have a bad line tie on them, and I just have to put them down here. I'll clip these ones off and I'll smooth it down before I paint them. They'll be fine. They'll be a lot better. They will have a better swim action, I guess is what I was going to say. So anyways, got a bunch of stuff going on out here in the bait room. I finally got a bunch of my baits hung up. I got a bunch more of them that I need to pull out, and I'm going to build some more stuff. And it's got this janky light up here because my cameras don't work out here in this light. Anyways, bass layers. Some of this stuff is for sale. I mean, if you guys want a custom paint job on one of these, I can do whatever you want. They will be finished pretty soon here. And yeah, I'm going to get to finish painting some other stuff that I have going on also. And I got to go to Hobby Lobby and get me some more 2-ton epoxy to epoxy coat some more stuff. Anyways, Bass Layers, thank you guys for watching. And year's coming to an end. Kind of a weird year. I don't know. Trying to get out to fish, but there's so much stuff going on. Had a lot of crazy stuff going on in the family. Had a family death the other day. And a bunch of weird random stuff going on this year, man. It's just this year's almost over. Let's just say that. Anyways, guys, Urban Bass Layers, if you can, get out there and go fish. I mean, you can still catch them right now. It's really cold. You got to really work for them. You don't have that much time. Days are a lot shorter and it's a lot colder. It's getting way colder now. But we got one day of rain coming, and it better come quick. Yep. Urban Bass Layers, thank you guys for watching.